I'm here with Dave Patel of Douglas Elliman here in East Setauket. And Dave, we cannot help but go onto the internet, onto YouTube, turn on the television, read the newspaper, if you still read a newspaper, and see these stories or these proclamations from these doomsdayers out there talking about a real estate market crash. But things are not the same here on Long Island, Dave, right?
Long Island is a whole different marketplace than the rest of the country. There's a big difference. The biggest issue we have on Long Island is we do not have any more land. There's a lot of land that is either a conserved land, agriculture protected, or you cannot build on it. We are close to the water. We just cannot start developing because we need more housing. Long Island has a very short supply of housing, and 2023 people started thinking the housing market's going to crash, it's going to get bad. And I just lost on a housing comic. $659 was the list price. The highest bid came at $725, and my client was at $715. He could not get the house, and this is 2 days after the house hit on the market. It was 16 plus offers the agent had. It's not easy. Yes, homes are selling below price if they've been on the market for months and if they're not kept in the right condition. But if you had a house that was in a great condition, well maintained, on a good location, you're still getting the top dollar. You are not losing money. If it's insanely crazy right now what's going on Long Island. But a lot of people, Larry, refinance their homes. You are a lender, you know that. At a very low interest, 2.5%, 3%. It is very difficult to go and explain to that person, sell your house that you are living in at 3% interest or 2.5 and buy a bigger house for 7% interest or 6%. That's what's causing one of the biggest supply squeezes right now on Long Island. And also remember, Florida was the destination of most Long Islanders used to move from Long Island to Florida. It was an easy thing. Florida has become so damn expensive. Nobody's moving like overnight there, because over there, once you move, you're still paying the higher interest, and the homes are not as cheap as they used to be.
Insurance costs have gone way up in Florida, right?
You cannot get home insured and everything. So in all, Long Island is getting the biggest issue on the supply chain is that if you have a house that's on Long Island, you were planning of selling, maybe you were downsizing, this is still one of the best times, Larry, to sell a house. You are still getting top dollar for the house. And in the whole package that's happening right now is people who are living on Long Island, they are realizing this is still one of the best places to live. And maybe we had a better winter than Florida this year.
I was just going to bring up that question, Dave. When you have, and I'll knock on wood a little bit here, if it is wood on the stable. When you have a mild winter like we've had to this point, we're in late February as we tape this. Does that decrease the number of people putting their homes on the market? Because you know what I mean? If you've got 3 feet of snow, people are saying, that's it, I'm going to move to Florida. You think that might have an impact a little bit?
The impact is there. And the other issue, Larry, we had is a lot of times when we have snow on the ground, people do not put homes on the market. They avoid it. It's snow on the ground with 2 feet or a feet of snow. Your house is not going to look pretty.
Sure.
So you wait out. We have no snow, so every week maybe 2 homes, 3 homes will hit the market, and they're gone like there was no tomorrow. They're gone quick. So there is no build up. We used to have the spring market that used to be like, oh, the listings are going to show up because nobody used to list their homes in January and February because it was so cold. This year it's a different market. So those dribs and drabbles have already come and gone, and there is no surge happening on the listing end where people are saying, time to get out of Long Island. And the whole country is expensive right now. To build in Texas, build in Florida, it's nothing cheap anymore. Everything is expensive. My favorite, I love Long Island. If I could live, retire, and die on Long Island, I will be here. I love the 4 seasons. It's one of the most prettiest places. I go on vacation all over. I come back and I said, Long Island is beautiful.
It is. And our winters, I mean, right, we don't have, some winters are bad. No doubt. But we have had several winters recently that have been fairly mild. So we don't have the extreme winters that other parts of the country have.
We have been lucky for the last few years.
Yeah.
The winters have been mild, and that is helping. And in the end, the value on Long Island is getting a little better. I agree with you. Everybody else, like I also complain, the taxes are crazy on Long Island. That's one thing we cannot avoid on Long Island. Taxes are always there. But still, if you have a home that's already paid off and you have a good equity sitting on it, and now you want to move to Florida, I think you're gonna break even now.
Yeah.
In the back days, Larry, we used to sell a house on Long Island, move to Florida, and have money left over in the bank account. Now it's a wash.
Yeah.
And that's what preventing people from moving.
So people are looking at their bank accounts and saying, this is not, I'm not doing this just for monetary reasons. I'm not really benefiting. Now, with that lack of inventory out there, Dave, can you leave us with a last tip for home buyers? Because it's got to be frustrating for them. What would you say to home buyers?
If you are still planning on selling, if you're still planning on moving, give a realtor a call. Give me a call, 631-220-2860. The market is so strong on Long Island right now. There's so many very well qualified buyers who are looking to move in Long Island in different parts of the town. If you have a house that's well kept, you price it right, you will be sold within 48 hours, 24 hours. Use a realtor. You want to use a realtor for a few reasons. People always talk about selling by themselves and everything. You leave too much money on the table. When you do it, sell by yourself, sell by owner, you have no idea how much money you left. A realtor pays for themselves through the price they make you on selling the house, plus you have a profit. I just had a client, one of Indian families, and I knew them for years. They put their house for sale by owner. I saw the house came up, and they had a bad experience with the previous realtor, and they knew me, but they were reluctant to call me because of a past bad experience. They listed the house in East Setauket for $625. After 15 days, they were ready to take an offer from somebody for $575, $580, but nothing panned out. They gave me a call. I went to the house. I saw the house. It was a beautiful house. We put it on the market for $599, Larry. We got $635 on the house. They paid for my services. They made extra money. They were so happy with my services. They went to Connecticut. They bought a house in Connecticut. They still asked me to find them a realtor in Connecticut. And I was able to find them a different realtor who was good in Connecticut. And they already purchased a house there. The whole experience of selling a house is just not about the price. It's about the pre-approvals. You know about pre-approvals all day long, Larry. You have to check people's, like, everybody has a pre-approval nowadays. How do I differentiate between which is a good pre-approval, which is an average pre-approval? You need a realtor to look into those things. How much money they're putting on the deal and everything. All these things combined makes part of the realtor, the inspection, the appraisals, the walkthroughs at closing, and every deal, you and me both know, teaches you something new. There is never one deal that's exactly the same as the other one. We always end up on some issues. Long Island, one of the biggest issues on Long Island is people have homes that they have done things and they did not apply for a CO.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest issues on Long Island is open COs, missing COs, violations. You need a realtor to jump all through those hoops. You do not want to sign a contract with somebody, go into contracts, then come to realize that these issues are happening on your property. It's going to draw out the whole deal and end up causing you more money.
Absolutely.
A realtor will get ahead of those issues by making sure before you go to the market that everything is done correctly, find the solutions, or at least disclose to the future buyers about issues.
Yeah.
In all, if you need to sell a house on Long Island, it is still one of the best times to sell a house. Give me a call, 631-220-2860.
Thank you, Dave, and you heard from a real professional, Dave Patel, here at Douglas Elliman in East Setauket.